Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope everyone is doing well. All right, so I am here to answer questions if there are questions related to thyroid health. And yeah, let me go ahead and for those who are not familiar with me, just want to discuss some resources. So I do have a podcast. It's called Save My Thyroid, and you could check it out by visiting savemythyroid.com or just visit your favorite podcast platform and type in Save My Thyroid. And so the podcast focuses a little bit more on hyperthyroidism, uh, but most of the episodes will benefit those with either hyperthyroidism or Hashimoto's. I'd say probably like 85% will benefit those with both hyper and Hashimoto's, but there's definitely more of a focus on hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's out there, including with most other thyroid related podcasts. So again, this has a little bit more of an emphasis on hyperthyroidism, but if you have Hashimoto's, you definitely will benefit from a lot of the episodes. Natural endocrine solutions. So SaveMyThyroid.com was released in 2021, so a little over 3 years ago when I released the Save My Thyroid podcast. Natural endocrine solutions was released on 2000 in 2010, March, spring of 2010. So what is that, 14 and a half years? And that has hundreds of articles, blog posts related to both hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism, Graves' disease, Hashimoto's, and have a supplement line as well, thyroidsave.com. And then I have a few books. So Natural Treatment Solutions for Hyperthyroidism and Graves' Disease was first released in 2011. So hard to believe it's been 13 years that was released. Then 2 years later, 2013, came out with the second edition. And last year, 2023, 10 years later, came out with the third edition, also out on audiobook. Hashimoto's Triggers came out 2018, I think like February. So, I mean, almost 7 years ago. And then my newest book, The Hyperthyroid Healing Diet, was released in spring of this year, spring of 2024. And definitely check that out if you're dealing with hyperthyroidism. And then want to announce an upcoming summit that I will be hosting. The first ever summit I'm hosting. I've participated in other summits, but I've never hosted my own. Uh, free online summit featuring 36 presentations. So I'm doing two of them. And then there's essentially, including myself, 35 guests. I'm doing two presentations and then 34 other presentations. And then it'll start Thursday, October 24th. So less than a week away. And to register, visit savemythyroid.com/thyroid summits. And that is it. If there are questions, now is the time to ask questions. I'm not going to be on for too long today because I actually have someone interviewing me shortly. So I figured I'd hop on for 20, 30 minutes, depending on how many questions there are. But I'll leave this up in case if anybody trickles in late. So, or watches the recording. But let's see. So what questions we have? We have from Anya. How do you maintain a normal thyroid after being diagnosed with Graves' disease and hyperthyroidism? So, I mean, keep in mind, Graves is more of an immune system condition than a thyroid condition. Again, I was diagnosed with Graves in 2008, been in remission since 2009. And so I mean, you don't need to be as strict when maintaining a state of wellness when compared to trying to get into a state of wellness when trying to restore your health. So, yeah, when I dealt with Graves, definitely ate a strict diet, and I mean, I'm still doing a lot of the things that I did now, just not as strict. So I'm eating whole, healthy foods, but not. I mean, again, back then I started out with paleo because there wasn't AIP, and then I kind of like switched to what was still not called AIP, but similar to AIP. Now I followed more of like a modified paleo diet, try to do a good job of managing stress, still always a work in progress, doing things to reduce my toxic load. I mean, diet and stress and sleep, those are three big things to maintaining a state of wellness after getting into remission. Again, I do a lot to reduce my toxic load. I do sauna. Actually did sauna today, and for usually three times a week I do sauna, and been doing that for about 9 or 10 years. I forget if I got my sauna in 2014 or 2015. So at least 9 years, maybe 10 years. But yeah, I'm actually coming. It's funny you asked this. I think it's this coming Tuesday, either this Tuesday or next Tuesday. I'm releasing an episode how I maintain a state of remission. Like because it's been 15 years. 2009 is when I so definitely tune into that episode if you want to learn more about maintaining a state of wellness. So, what are some stress management practices you incorporate into your routine while treating Graves? I mean, currently for me, again, I'm not dealing with Graves any longer, but stress management's still important. So, I personally do something called Heart Math, HEART, heartmath.org or .com. You can visit. There's a device I use called the Inner Balance. It's helps measures what's called heart rate variability or HRV, which is the that you should have variations in between heartbeats. Essentially, I'm doing deep breathing and using the technology to monitor the heart rate variability. I'll say that most of my patients don't use heart math. Most are just doing deep breathing, meditation, yoga. They're just incorporating some type of mind body medicine. Which obviously is free, unless if you do. I mean, there are apps and programs like Headspace, which probably you could check out by visiting headspace.com. Some people use that, and it's a small monthly fee. So it's kind of like guided meditation, and there are other apps, a Calm app. So so yeah, just those are some of the stress management techniques. And Anya, I will have to purchase your books. I will tune in next Tuesday. It's actually Thursday. So Thursday, I released the podcast episode on Tuesday, but yeah, the summit Thursday, October 24th will be the first day, and it's yeah, it's not live. I mean, I've done all the recordings. It's actually pre-recorded every day. I've done all the 34 interviews, and again, I had someone interview me, so I've been interviewed twice. So yeah, it starts on Thursday, and yeah, so definitely tune in on Thursday. And again, if you register, you'll get the email confirmation. Then the day of the day of the summit, you should get the emails. I mean, that's how it usually works. Even though I'm hosting, it's not. I'm working through a company called 360 Summits. So again, this is my first summit. So, but usually what happens, you register and then they'll send you a confirmation email, and then every day during the summit, you'll receive an email with a link to the presentations for that specific day. All right, Jada, you are very welcome. Thank you. Thanks for your question. Appreciate it. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Hope some of you are enjoying some fall weather. I'm in North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte. I'm in Matthews, North Carolina, and getting pretty good fall weather. A little bit cooler in the morning, but that's fine. I mean, that's what fall is about. In some areas, I was in Arizona 3 weeks ago, so it was still, or 2 weeks ago, last no 3 weeks ago, last week in September, last weekend in September. So it was officially fall, but it was well over 100 degrees when I was visiting Arizona. So yeah, that no fall weather, I guess there, at least not when I was there. But yeah, so hopefully most people who are tuning into this are enjoying. Hopefully, you're enjoying some fall weather. And yeah, hard to believe we're 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from today is the first day of November. All right. So if there are no other questions, that's fine. Again, like I said, I can't stay a full hour today anyway, just because I have someone else interviewing me for coincidentally their summit. So Dr. Anshul Gupta, who is part of my summit, uh, talk about, I believe, antibodies, thyroid antibodies. He's having his own thyroid related summit in 2025. So, so he's going to be interviewing me soon. Anya says, thanks for the information. You are welcome, Anya. Hope you have a great day, a great weekend. Um, and, and I guess that I'll say that to everybody else if there's no more questions. Again, sometimes it's not uncommon for me to ramble a little bit and then we get a bunch of questions. And before I know it, it's 30 minutes have passed. Uh, so just making sure, because that's the thing with Facebook too. People pop in and out all the time. So just making sure that double checking that there's no questions here. Jada, you are welcome. Oh, actually, I think I already that was a comment from before. All right, well, I'm gonna I'm gonna tune out, get ready for the interview that I'll be not conducting, but just being part of from Dr. Gupta. So hope you have a great day. Definitely, if you haven't registered, visit savemythyroid.com/thyroid summit to check out the Save My Thyroid Summit. And again, everybody have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend ahead, and I'll be back sometime in November to answer more questions. So until then, everyone take care, and again, happy Friday.